Good morning. I literally woke up 10 minutes ago, so y'all gonna have to bear with me because I'm on the struggle bus. I told Chris, I woke up this morning and I was like, thinking it's like 5:15 or whatever. And I went in the kitchen and I looked at the clock and I was like, why does that say 15 till 7? And then I went and looked at another watch and I was like, it's 15 till 7? I'm like, oh my gosh, I got 50. So I ran in there and I swiped my clothes on. I'm not even, I normally I have 2 cups of coffee and water before I go live, and I'm on my first cup of coffee. And so then I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, what am I even talking about? And then I showed Chris when the story happened, I wrote it all down and I'm sitting here reading my notes and I'm like, what am I talking about? And I'm trying to figure out, I'm sort of remembering the story, but I don't know if you're like me, but like, I don't know. It's like something can happen. And then like, I don't know, a day later, it's like I don't remember it. I don't know if that's old age, but like I can't remember the details of the story. And I think it's because I have so much going on. So I need a minute. I'm going to turn the fan on. Facebook's not even here yet. I don't see them unless they're all ditching me this morning. Hang on. My Facebook is not here. I'm having Facebook problems again, like bad. Like bad. I don't understand them. As a create, there they are. As a creator, you have no idea. If you're on Facebook and you absolutely are a Judy fan, you need to go get YouTube. That's all I can tell you. It's just, it's like, imagine this. This is the only way I know how to explain it. Imagine you're volunteering at a place and you volunteer 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, okay? And you're not getting paid for it. You're volunteering. You love what you do, okay? And so then all of a sudden the company goes, you've been coming 7 days a week, nonstop, putting such effort here, building relationships with our customers. We want to hire you. Okay? And you're like, really? Oh, thank you so much. So then you start, going 7 days a week and you're getting a paycheck and you're like, this is so nice. I can't believe that I'm getting paid. I love doing this and I'm getting paid to do it. That's so nice. But you don't really do anything different because you are just being you. So the 7 days a week that you were working when you were just volunteering, you're like, well, there's nothing I'm going to do it different because I'm still myself, but it's nice to be rewarded for it. Rewarded for your efforts. And then they go, like, you build up and you build this huge clientele for your company, okay? You build all these relationships for your company, and then they go, never mind, we're not paying you. And you're like, so then it's like you got to go back to where you were. And you're like, okay, I've got to go back to where I was and do this 7 days a week and just do it from the love of my heart. And it's not that I'm trying to think of what I want to say. It's not that you do it for money, but what happens is, like, when you get accustomed to getting a paycheck, you kind of adjust your life around getting a paycheck. Like you might do something extra because you get a paycheck, or, you get accustomed. It's like if you get child support, and then they don't pay child support and you try not to depend on it or whatever. And then all of a sudden you're like, anyway, it has been very difficult to build it up, bust my tail, and then just whenever they decide they want to just take it away, they just take it away. And sometimes they give it back. So like it's very undependable. So if you are a person who thinks, I would love to be a creator, if you think, oh my gosh, I would love to be a creator, and you're on Facebook, I'm here to tell you that you're going to work your butt off for nothing. I'm here to tell you it's happened to all the creators. And when you have, I don't even know what I have. Let's see. I'll look. I have worked really hard. I have 105,457 followers on Facebook. And I do it from the love of my heart, and have been for a while. I don't know the last time. I don't know the last time I got paid for a live. I don't know. I do it because I care. I do it because I love you. And as a matter of fact, I've told you guys, if you're a creator, if you're wanting to be a creator, I have to pay. I don't have to pay, but to be verified on Facebook, it costs money. You don't do that for free. Okay. It costs money. And sometimes I sit here and I'm like, am I going backwards financially for being live? I know it's confusing to y'all, but I pay $88 a month to be on StreamYard, and I pay $150 a month to be verified on Facebook. So let's just say we're going to be exact. And then I'll move on. I pay $238 to use Facebook to go live, and I have not been paid in, I don't know, last time I got paid. So it's not on my lives. So anyway, it's a bit frustrating. Okay, we're going to move forward, and I'm going to try to remember the situation that happened this weekend. All right. First of all, me as a person, I can't even decide if I want to fix my hair. Me as a person, when I talk about myself, okay? When I talk about myself, I am raw and truthful. I tell you how janked up I am, okay? I'm very, very truthful when it comes to talking about myself. When I talk about other people, whether it be my family, whether it be someone that works here, whatever, I tell you the good things. Okay? Because the last thing I want to do, I'm going to slick my hair back so I can talk to y'all, and I'll do my hair at the end. The last thing I want to do is put someone down or, say something I shouldn't, or tell somebody else's business, or, I build people up on that I talk about. Whether, like I said, whether it be someone that works with me, whether it be Shane or my children, or I tell you what I've learned. I might tell you the situation, but I always build someone up. So sometimes when I don't know where my moisturizer. I ran out of moisturizer, so we just ain't putting it on. So when things happen, it's like y'all might not know the big picture, because I've built people up, because I don't talk bad about people. I build them up. And so when things happen, what I'm getting at is, if you follow me and you've been following me for a while, I need you to trust me. And what I mean by that is, I need you to trust the decisions that I make for my farm, for friendships, I need you to trust me, because I can't sit here and tell you the big picture, because if I did, I wouldn't be a very good person, nor would I be a very good example to you, because I'm sitting here, bashing someone. So if you follow me, you have to trust that the decisions I've made are best for me and my farm. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right, moving on. Moving on. This weekend, my grandson was here. It's not very often that I get my grandson. And I've never really told y'all this, simply because I didn't know, I didn't want to be talking that I shouldn't talk. But his mother is now open about it, because she has it on her car tag. But my grandson suffers with epilepsy. It started after he got COVID. He's never had a seizure until he got COVID. And then he's been having seizures, and he's had to have all this testing done, sleep studies, and he's been having seizures for 3 or 4 years. And sometimes they're really, really scary and really, really bad. And then sometimes it's not so bad. So and he usually has them either in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning. And used to, prior to seizures, my grandson would come stay with me a week at a time. We were like best friends. Like, I have so much fun with Eli. So much fun. But ever since he got the seizures, it's put fear in him that he can't be away from home because he might have a seizure, I think. And so it's changed the relationship of him coming here a lot. So I don't really talk about him a lot, just because of his privacy and, but we've been dealing, and I haven't told y'all, but we've been dealing with this for years, and it's been hard. It's been real hard. But this weekend, he was on spring break, and he decided to come Wednesday to Friday. So Wednesday he came, and Shane ended up taking off work, and he lives an hour and a half away from us. So it's not like he can, just come over for a minute. I mean, it takes us 3 hours of driving just to go see him. So anyway, Shane took off work on Wednesday, and Shane and I drove and met his mom and him and he's got a little brother um, at Cracker Barrel, and we had breakfast, and it was nice. So then Eli came, and when he comes here, it's like he's never left. I mean, it's wonderful. Normally he just wants me, and he don't really, I think Shane intimidates him. I'm not really sure. But this weekend, he, like, when we went to Bryce Pro Shop, he wanted to hang out with Shane because he loves to fish. And so him and Shane went and looked at fishing gear, and he collects knives, and we went to the knife store, and I showed y'all all this on the video. It was great. Okay, now let me get to the story. So Thursday morning, that Thursday morning is when we were going to drive to Huntsville. Huntsville is an hour away. And Shane wanted to take him to the knife store and all that, the Bass Pro. Well, Shane is never here because Shane works a full-time job to see what all I do in the mornings. I mean, he's maybe glanced in, but he don't really. If I say, "Hey, Shane, will you go let the animals out?" Or I don't say, "Will you go do my morning routine?" Because he don't know it. So I said, "Will you go?" I'm not going to back up. I said, "Will you go let the animals out?" Because I had to get a shower, okay, get myself ready. I have Larry. I have to get Larry I can't just walk out the door. I have to do farm chores. That takes at least an hour, sometimes 2 hours. I got to feed Larry, give Larry his medicine, clean up after the dog. Like, I've got a lot to do. I can't just get up, drink a cup of coffee, and leave the house. It doesn't work like that. And sometimes Shane will want to go do something. And I told y'all that joker gets up at 5 a.m. every morning, 7 days a week. And he don't get up and drink a cup of coffee. He gets up, gets stressed. And you want to just hit him in the head with a hammer. You're like, it is Saturday at 5 o'clock. Why are you getting up and getting dressed? But he is on a routine, and that is what he does. He gets up. And so I said to him, I said, "Listen, if you're because he's wanting to leave to go to Huntsville early." And I said, "You're going to have to help me if you want to leave early. You're going to have to go outside and do animals while I get myself ready and do Larry." He said, "Okay." So he goes outside and he does the animals, and he comes back in. And I start questioning him. And I'm like, "Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this?" Because I know he doesn't know my routine. He does not know the animals like I know them. He doesn't know what we're doing. So when I start questioning him, "Did you do this? Did you do that?" He starts getting so mad at me. Like, as if I don't do a good job, and I'm like, I sat here. Okay, when I was questioning him, I said, "Did you do," like, one of the things I said is, in the rescue, I've said this on my videos before. I have to go in there, pick up Chirps, put her by the feed, put her in the pool for, like, usually the first thing I do is put her in the pool. I let her swim while I'm letting the other animals free range, because Chirps can't get in the pool by herself. Okay. She is disabled. Then I have to, at the end, I have to go get Chirps out of the pool, and I have to put Chirps by the food and the water. So I began to question him. I said, "Did you get Chirps?" And he said, "She was broody in the nesting box." And I'm like, this joker does not know what he's doing. She ain't broody. She's disabled. She can't get up. So I was trying to be nice, and he was getting mad at me for questioning him. Did you do this? And I said, Shane, she's not broody. She's disabled. I know that, you know. And then I started getting so mad because he was getting mad at me for questioning him as if he didn't do a good job. But I was questioning him because if I don't, I knew he didn't know what to do. If I say, Shane, will you go do the animals? All he does is let the doors open. He don't know the routine that I do. It takes a minute to do my morning routine. It's not that easy. But he's not here to see what I do. Okay. So me and him butt heads. So I come back in here and I was trying to get myself together. I'm like, what do I do? I'm gonna have to go out. I'm gonna have to go out to the animals and I guess check behind him. I mean, I knew he was going to get mad at me for checking behind him. But like, I don't know what to do. He won't take the time to learn my routine. He wants to do it his way. And I'm like, it don't work like that. My animals are trained. They're trained on routine. I do the same thing every morning and every night. And anytime that something is off and their routine changes, nobody knows what to do. They don't have if there is someone, I'll give you an example. If someone is in my farm that's not supposed to be in my farm, okay, and it's time for my animals to go to bed, and I say, go brush your teeth, go say your prayers, like I do that, they will not mind because there's someone in the farm. That is how routine my animals are. I get them to mind me because they know the routine. I so so anyway, so I'm thinking in my head, we're in a fight. My grandkid is here, and I'm thinking, okay, break this down. What do I need to do? I need to go out there and check behind him, but I'm gonna piss him off. I'm gonna totally piss him off. So this is what I decided to do. I go in there and I said, Shane, I need you to do me a favor. I need to continue to get ready and I need to go do Larry. And if we're going to leave here, I'm going to need you to go back out there and do these couple of things. And he flips his. He is so mad at me. Oh my God. And I said, I don't know how to fix this. And he was like, well, Judy, the way you do is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You treat these animals, they're animals, Judy. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is how you have to do it. And he didn't get off the couch to go do it. So I'm sitting in here, I'm fuming, he's fuming. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to fix this? I've got a grandkid here. We don't need to be fighting. How do I fix this? So I was thinking, as I was sitting here getting ready, I was thinking about, how do I fix this? How do I break this down? What am I doing wrong? Why am I making him mad? I can't fix his crappy attitude, right? I can't fix it. But I can fix me and the way I deliver things and the way I do things. And I used to be a boss, okay? I was in management. And the worst thing that my biggest fault, like when I would go get like my reviews, where they talk about what you did good and what you did bad and all that about you getting a raise, I would get in trouble for delegation every single time. And the reason is because I'm not good at delegating. I'm not good at telling people what I need. And the reason is because I think I do it better myself. I'm like, it's quicker for me just to do it myself than to sit here and explain to someone how to do it and teach them how. I'd rather just take 5 minutes and do it myself because I can do it better. But see, in management, I'm not training my employees to be better when I do that. So I'm just not good at delegating. I'm just not good at it. I'm not. So I was sitting here thinking about everything. So I was like, okay, let me picture myself in a situation where he does that to me. That's all, because I couldn't figure out how to break it down. There's many a times when I can't figure out, like, okay, Chirps is out there in a nesting box. It is a disabled duck. She can't walk out of the coop. I either have to go physically get her myself. It's a disabled duck. Or I piss my husband off and say, dude, she is not broody. She is disabled. Okay. Like, I can't figure out how. I just have to make him mad, or I have to go out there and do it myself. And if I go out there and do it myself, I'm telling him he's not good enough, but I have to go get her out of the box. She can't sit in a nesting box with no water. She's a duck, and I'm not doing that. So I don't know how to fix this. So I began to picture Shane, and recently, he's building my nesting box. Oh Lord, my peacock enclosure. And so he was on the roof, and he's like, when he says, Judy, will you go get this? And it's some type of tool or something, and I never know what the heck he's talking about. And he'll go, it's in my shop on my tool thing next to the such and such in this. And I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute. I feel like I need to write it down, because by the time I walk all the way to his shop, I'm like, what did he say? It's like, I need to go, hang on, let me record this, because by the time I get there, I'm not going to remember what you told me. But this particular day, he was like, I need you to go get the roofing nails. I don't know what a roofing nail is. I know you guys are laughing at me, but I don't. I need you to go in, open the shop, go over to my tool bench, over to the left, in a bucket is roofing nails. And I'm looking at him like he's got 4 horns on his head, because I'm not understanding what he's talking about. Okay. But I'm scared as I'm walking. I'm like, oh Lord, if I get all the way to this shop and I call him, he is going to chew me a new one. If I come back with the wrong thing, he's going to just forget it. I'll do it myself. But I was not raised with a father that did construction. My brothers didn't do construction. So there's a lot that I'm just ignorant about. Okay. I'm just ignorant about it. So I go to his shop, and I'm trying so hard, right? I'm trying so hard to find the right thing. Okay. Let me stop. When I say, Shane, will you go do my animals so that I can get ready and do Larry so we can leave here early? Shane goes out to my farm, and he is trying to do his very best. Okay. Because he knows this lady is in the house that never thinks he does it good enough. Okay. He's doing the same thing that I'm doing. So I'm in his shop going, oh dear Jesus, what is a roofing nail? And then I'm Googling roofing nail. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, I hope to God this is right. Now I'm looking around for the bag of roofing nails, or whatever, screws, or whatever they're called. And he calls me on the phone. What's taking you so long? I'm like, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm trying to freaking Google what a roofing screw looks like. You're calling me. You're getting on my nerves. I'm trying to find them. What did I tell you? I told you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking in my head, this joker gets on my flipping nerves. Okay, now let's go back to the chicken. Shane, Shane is out there, and Shane's like, okay, I got to do water. If these chickens don't get clean water, she's gonna be yelling at me. You dang Skippy, I'm gonna be yelling at you. These are my babies. And so he's out there and he's trying to go the extra mile because normally he just opens the chicken doors. But he knows I'm a stickler about certain things. So he's out there, he's doing his very best. And he's like, okay, I better do these waters. If there's a little bit of dirt in it, she gonna flip her lid. So I'm out here and he's out there doing his best. I'm in his shop. I'm Googling. I'm doing my very best. And I'm mad at him because he didn't do my chickens right. He's mad at me because I can't find the roofing nails. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, we're just alike. That's why we butt heads. Because when it comes to work and it comes to our routines, we are just alike. And I was thinking in my head, he's not trainable. Hey, no. When we got home, I said, will you please walk out here with me and let me go over everything that I do so that if I croak over tomorrow, you know that Chirps is a disabled duck and you have to pick her up and put her in the water, pick her up and put her by the food before you do anything. Or, I mean, you have to go into the pigeon cage. You have to put 4 scoops of feed into this feed. If you don't, there are mamas and they can't feed their babies unless they have food. They have to regurgitate it and spit it up and feed them. If there's not enough pigeon food in here, they can't feed their babies and they're going to starve. Will you please go around my animals and will you please learn my routine? He was so mad at me. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly. I'm like, the crap you do, you don't know what you're doing. You didn't even know. You thought Chirps was freaking broody. You don't know what you're doing. But I wanted him. I want him to know my animals like I know them. I want to know that if I ever go off, that he knows exactly what to do. And he don't. He thinks he does, but he don't. He doesn't at all. He does not know what he's doing. And when it comes to Shane wanting me to learn what he's doing, he wants so bad for me to learn how to build something, how to do something. He wants to teach me, and I have zero desire to learn the crap that he does. I don't. It's just, and when it comes to these animals, he has no desire for me to teach him how to do these animals. Zero. He already knows. He thinks he already knows. personally, I know that I don't know when it comes to his stuff. I know I don't know. Like, he wants to sit me down and teach me what these tools are so that when he goes, "Hey, Judy, go get me such and such," I know what he's talking about. I don't care. I don't care. I don't. I wished I did. I did. If we were in his shop and he laid all the tools out and said, "Judy, I need you to learn all these tools because you don't know." And I can't be on a roof doing your peacock enclosure and say, "Judy, go get me a roofing screw," and you know what the heck I'm talking about. It's like talking to a 2-year-old, Judy. You don't know nothing. So I need you to sit in this shop and I need you to learn what every one of these are. I have zero desire. And if he stood there and was trying to teach me tools, I would roll my eyes. So when Eli was here and I was sitting here trying to go, okay, what do I do? Do I go in there? Do I take Chirps? Do I just go do it myself? Chirps has to come out of the nesting box. She's not broody. So I'm like, do I go in there and just do it myself and don't tell him? Or do I go in there and ask him? So I decided, hey, listen, I told you this, but I said, hey, listen, Chirps is not broody. Yes, she is. Oh, God, why do I have to deal with the DA? She's not broody. She's disabled. I need you to go back. Okay. And I said, I need you to go back out there and I need you to get her out of the nesting box. I need you to put her in the swimming pool, let her swim a little bit. Did you check on the chickens in the castle? No. The chickens are in the castle because I sold their coop and their coop is not here yet. He forgot. And I said, you're going to have to go back out there, let Chirp swim for a while, go to the castle coop, open the door, make sure they're okay, make sure they have food and water. And he starts rolling his eyes as if I'm standing in his shop and he's telling me, this is a makeup brush. Okay, Judy, this is a makeup brush. This is a small bristle, which means you don't use it for the top. If he was in there teaching me about these tools, I'm going to be rolling my eyes. I'm just like him. I am no different than he is. I want to do it my way. Okay. Just tell me what you need. Let me Google it. Let me be studying it from this till your shop. And by the time I get in there, I'll figure it out. And if I have to make 3 trips, I have to make 3. But I don't want to listen to you talk. Because I do not want to be told what to do. Shane, same way. I don't want to learn your routine. I already know how to do it, Judy. The things that you do are goofy. The way you take care of your animals, Judy, they're freaking animals. Like for example, he would never make it as a creator on social media. And the reason I say that is because people on social media that do not know me, if I do a video and there is a little bit, let's just say green or rust or something in the water, people fillet their lid. I'm not taking care of my animals. I'm like, you would get screamed at on social media because of the way you do your water. Well, I'm not on social media. I'm like, but I don't want my water done like that. I want the water clean. And so if I say go do the water in the barn, he don't empty out the old water. He just puts clean water on top of the old water. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. You gotta Dump it out. Take your hand or a scrub brush, get all the yucky out, dump it out, rinse it out, dump it out, and fill it up. He ain't doing that. And I'm not going in this shop and I'm not doing his stuff. And I'm like, we are a bunch of bullheaded people. We we straight up awful. But when I'm breaking things down, when you break things down, you have to look within. What do I do? Instead of going, he don't do this, he does this, he says this, blah, blah, blah. No, you have to go, what do I do? What do I do? Okay, maybe when it comes to the animals, I do things differently. But when Shane is in his comfort zone, what am I doing? And I'm doing the same thing that he's doing. So I'm going to sit here and fume over the things that Shane is doing because I'm in a tunnel of, he don't listen. He thinks he's right all the flipping time. You can't tell him nothing. You can't communicate with him. He's got an ugly mouth. Everything that comes out of his mouth is rude and ugly. I could sit here and do every bit of that when I look at the situation of how he does my animals. Okay, we're finished. That night, okay, when it comes to putting the animals to bed, Shane thinks that he helps me all the time. He does. He thinks he helps me all the time. And I just let him think that, okay, whatever. I have a routine when I put the animals to bed. The big animals. I go into the chicken coop, I get the goat feed, the donkey feed, and the alpaca feed. And my animals will do exactly what they follow in line. I'm like, come on, let's go get in the bed to the goats. The goats go in the bed first. Every one of the goats run to the bed. I give them their food. Next up is Leroy. Come on, Lily, let's go get in the bed. Leroy, I take Leroy to the bed. While I'm getting in the bed, I open the sheep coop to let them in. Leroy eats. Next up, I lock the sheep. The next, I go get the alpaca food. Come on, let's go say your prayers. They go get in the coop, go get in the barn. Okay. Shane decides that night he's going to put the animals to bed. And I'm over here going, this is going to be a train wreck. So I just sit back. First thing he does is he puts the goats up, which is right. The second thing, he goes and puts the alpacas up. And the sheep and the donkey are running in the alpaca pen. And he's madder than a wet mother hen because he can't figure out why they're doing that. And he's like, so he gets his foot and he pops Hound Dog in the butt because Hound Dog's strong. He can't get Hound Dog out of the alpaca pen. And he's like, God, and he's yelling. He's got his blood pressure up. And I'm over there going, stop. 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 You're doing it wrong. That's why they're all in the alpaca pen trying to eat the alpaca food because you did not do the routine. And he is madder. He is so mad at me. I know what I'm doing. Joker, you look like a kindergartner out here putting the animals up. Nobody knows what to do because you're not doing the routine. He won't listen to me. He's like, I was trying to help because we got here at night and I was trying to help you do this. You're not doing the routine. And I sit here and I think, he makes me so mad. That's what I'm thinking. When it comes to my animals, I will flip my lid if you don't do the routine. Because I'm going to tell you, first of all, there is a 1,500-pound bull out there. I have trained him how to eat. And the reason I trained him to do this is because I had a friend who was holding a bucket of feed and the bull attacked her. And she went to the hospital. And the bull has always been nice and never attacked her. And so I am very, very routine when it comes to my animals because animals flip their lid when it comes to food. Okay. If I went out there and stood with a bucket of feed, the animals would hurt me. Even though they know me, I'm their trainer, they would hurt me. Dexter would plow me. The goats would jump on my head. They do not mind when it comes to animals. So I do this routine to teach them discipline. I've taught them discipline from day one. You don't see me. Sometimes you see creators, okay, and they don't feed inside the fence. They feed on the outside of the fence. And I'm sure they do that because of safety. Because, like, let's just say goats, or let's just say cows, okay? Inside a fence with a bucket of feed can almost be very, very dangerous to a farmer feeding. So you'll see people get their feed bucket on the outside and they pour the feed over the fence. Well, you have to remember at Sneed's farmhouse, they're not separated by fences. It's not like the cows over here, the pigs are over here, the chickens are over here, the goats are over here. They're all together. Well, when your animals live all together and it's feed time, if I was on the outside of the fence and I just threw the feed over, can you imagine what it would be like if I did not separate them and put them in the barn at night and everyone didn't have their routine of what to do? Everyone would go to the food trough and they would be fighting over the feed that's in the trough. At my farm, it's different. I can't do that. I can't have a bucket of feed on the outside of the fence and pour it over the fence. I can't. And the reason I started putting the animals in the barn at night is simply because I worried about predators. And I was like, these jokers ain't sleeping out here. Mm-mm. A coyote would love to kill a goat or a alpaca. So I started putting the animals, I made them sleep in the barn. But I did that because also when you have all your animals that live together, some feed can be toxic to other animals. Like, for example, the cow feed. The cow feed has something in it. I can't remember what it is, but it's toxic to donkeys. So if I poured feed into the bucket, into the trough over the fence, Leroy could die. Sheep, copper is toxic to sheep. I have to get a mineral block that is safety for all the animals. I can't go get just any mineral block because it has copper in it. So there's certain things that my farm has to do that other farms don't do. Another thing, I am on a dry lot, meaning that there's no grass. Well, you see farm people and they have to worm their animals constantly. They have to be on a routine. If they don't worm their animals, it's a death sentence. Okay? Alpacas, they have to have an injection, ivermectin injection to keep away from M-worm. M-worm will kill an alpaca in a second. Okay? When you're on a dry lot, I don't have to do that. I don't. Because worm lives in grass. My animals do not get worms hardly at all. When I take their fecal to the vet, there's never, ever any worms in my fecal. Ever. Because I'm on a dry lot. A lot of people frown upon the fact I have a dry lot. They're like, "Oh, your cows need grass or whatever." But there's benefits to being on a dry lot. There are also negative to being on a dry lot, but there's benefits too. So like anyway, it's just different. And so my animals, I taught them routine because for the longest time I was like Shane. When I would go feed the animals, they were going ballistic. Everybody was running in the same stall, and I was like, I can't do this. There's just me, and I've got all these animals attacking me. How do I do this? But I'm telling you, if one thing is off, if someone's standing at the gate wanting to watch me put the animals to bed, alpacas aren't going to bed. So I want Shane to learn my routine, because if he learned my routine, he wouldn't be frustrated out there getting his blood pressure up, trying to kick a hound dog in the butt to get him out of the fence. He wouldn't do it if he would do the routine. But it's the same thing with me. If I would go learn Shane's way, I wouldn't be over there getting my blood pressure up trying to figure out what the flip he's talking about when he says, go get me this tool. I would know. I would absolutely know what to do, but I don't want to take the time to learn. Why? Why? Why am I like that? Why does it bother Shane for me to tell him what to do? And why does it bother me for him to tell me what to do? Why does it bother me? I think it's because Shane and I think we do everything right. We're both very independent people. We both learn the exact same way. If you are a school teacher, you kind of have to learn how your kids in your classroom, how they learn. Do they learn by you showing them how to write their name? Or do they learn by you like verbally telling them how to write their name? Like you have to learn how people learn. Shane and I learn the exact same way. And this is how we learn. We get something to put together, okay, in the mail. Shane and I both are throwing the instructions away. Neither one of us are reading instructions. And then we begin to think we know how to put this together. And then we put it together. And then the last piece doesn't fit. And we flip our lid. We get our blood pressure up. We're mad as crap. We throw something. We kick something. And then we have to take it all apart and start over. That is how Shane and I put things together. We do it every time. We never read the instructions. We learn by doing it ourselves because we're both hardheads. We're just alike. When it came to farming, people wanted to tell me, like, you can't. They were like, you are going to get hurt by touching your bull on the head. And this is me. Why? Why can't you touch a bull on the head? They're like, because touching the head, he's going to come up to you and want to hit you. He's going to hurt you. Okay, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. That's me. I'm bullheaded. You say I can't do it, I'm going to do it and become president. Watch me. Watch this. Shane is the exact same way. The exact same way. We don't like to be told what to do because we think we already do it good. And it's funny when you see yourself in someone else, but sometimes we have blinders on and we can't see that we're just like them. We think they're god awful. You know? But being the best version of yourself is, you know, because I could have easily when Shane was getting mad at me, she's broody, Judy. She's in the nesting box. She's broody. I could have like really gotten mad about that and go, he is about as dumb as they come. She is not broody. Freaking know your animals. We've had chirps for 4 years now. She's not broody. She's freaking disabled. Like, I could have got really mad and go, you really need to learn what Judy does. You really do. And if you want to go somewhere in the morning, you have to do all your water and everything at night to be able to go somewhere early in the morning. Judy doesn't have a routine that I can get up and leave. I have Larry. I have animals. But see, he can't necessarily see all that I do because he's not physically here. He doesn't sit and watch what I do. He doesn't. But see, do I sit and watch what he does? Not really. I don't know what he does. I'm like, why does he get up at 5 o'clock in the morning? You know? I mean, I usually get up with him, but I don't. He says he can't get stuff done unless he gets up. You're wasting the day away, Judy. You're wasting it. But I could have sat here and got really mad when he was rolling his eyes at me. You know, I know what to do. You know, I could have got really, really mad. But I had to stop myself and go, okay, I'm about to blow my gasket at this point in my life. He has made me so mad. He is, I mean, we've had this duck for 4 years and he thinks that she's sitting in the nesting box because she's broody. Like, what? Like, what? Oh, God. I could have gotten mad. But I had to break it down to figure out, well, what do you do? I mean, have you ever done that to yourself? Like where somebody makes you so mad, but what do you do? Have you ever said that to yourself? Like you're mad at somebody else over something they've done, but then you have to go, but what do you do, Judy? I don't do nothing. I'm freaking perfect. Do nothing. I don't do nothing wrong. It's that joker. We are quick to get stuck on what somebody else does, but what we don't realize is we might be the same way. And that's what I realized is I'm no different from Shane. I wished that I had a desire to, I don't to learn something, but I don't. I don't. And one day I might regret that, and I probably will. But I just I'd rather be in my farm training an animal. I don't care to know what the tools are, and it makes him so mad. Learn something, Judy. I'm like, Joker, you learn something. Learn that this 4-year-old duck that we had is not broody in a nesting box. Maybe if you come out there every now and then like you think you do, then you would know that this duck is disabled and you have to take her out of the nesting box. Oftentimes, when you find yourself frustrated like that, when you break things down, and I tell you guys this all the time, there's times when I can't break things down. I can't figure out how to break it down. I'm like, I can't see the big picture. And the moment that I do that, sometimes I need to walk away from it and then come back and visit it and go, okay, I need to see the big picture here. Why am I so mad that Shane won't take the time to learn how to do my animals? Why am I so mad about this? I mean, and I could sit here and go, it's because he does this. It's because he does that. It's because he has no patience. It's because he thinks he knows everything. It's because I could sit here and do that all day long. But where am I getting? I can't control him. I can only control myself. So the moment that I have clarity and go, okay, but what do you do? He does all this. Well, girlfriend, what you do? I don't do nothing. If he would just be like me, this world would be a better place. We do that. We may not say that out loud, but we do that. And when you're able to break it down is the moment you notice, oh, the reason he's like that is because he's bullheaded. And the reason I'm like this is because I'm bullheaded. You get two bullheadeds together and you go, that's why. Because we both think we do everything right. We both will not learn from the other. I mean, there's going to be a day maybe that Shane regrets not knowing my routine. I don't know how she does. I don't know how she did this every single day. I mean, if something happened to me and he had to go do my routine, I don't think he could do it. I really don't. But if something happened to him, I couldn't do his. I mean, what would happen if something happened to Shane and something needed to be fixed? I'm probably going to have a complete meltdown because I didn't learn from him and I don't know how to fix nothing. And I'm going to go broke hiring people to help me. You know, my counselor said this to me once, and it has stuck with me to this day. And what she said was, there's something that Shane does that hurts me tremendously. And it triggers me. It puts me in a really bad place. A really bad place. And you would think we've been married, we'll be married 8 years in June. And I bet you every single counseling session, I bring up this thing that he does to me because it is so hurtful. It is not even funny. And I have approached Shane in so many different ways about this subject. I have gone to him mad. Let me tell you, I've been mad. I'm like, okay, that didn't work. Okay, let me try soft. Shane, I need to talk to you, and I need you to understand that this subject keeps me from having peace. Didn't didn't work. I've tried going to him, bawling my eyes out and going, "You are scaring me. You scare me. My own husband, you scare me so bad." Doesn't work. Every situation that I've ever tried to approach Shane on, it doesn't work. So at that point, when you have exhausted all your resources that you know to try to get someone, let's just say someone's mad at you and you're trying to resolve the issue, and you try this approach, didn't work. You try this approach, it didn't work. This approach, it didn't work. At some point, you have to come to acceptance that this person doesn't like you. I'm not saying Shane doesn't like me, but I tried all these different resources, and Shane, it almost feels like he doesn't care. I know he does, but it throws off vibes to me that puts me in fear. It puts me it has my emotions all over the place. And my counselor said to me, she said, "Wouldn't it be sad if one day Shane was no longer here and you were wrong the whole entire time?" What? What does that mean? So this fear that I have in me and me going to Shane and Shane shutting me down left and right. What if one day, God forbid nothing happened to him, but let's just say that he passed away before me. And when he passed away, everything that I feared was wrong. And Shane wasn't here for me to say. And I lived with this grief that I thought was real. I lived with this grief, and I was wrong the whole time. And Shane's no longer here. And I'm sitting over here feeling guilty because Shane's not here. And the fear that I had was the fear that I have within myself. It wasn't a fear that Shane was necessarily giving me. It was a fear of a PTSD that was being triggered by something Shane did. What if it was all me the whole time? And then I got robbed of my joy while Shane was here because I was letting this fear and this trigger happen. That's deep to think about. That's deep to think about. Sometimes when you have to figure things out, you have to think deep. Because there's a reason why you are the way you are. And unfortunately, you know, on social media, because Shane and I kid a lot, you know, I don't know, sometimes you might sit and go, I wish we could kid like that, or I wish, you know, this. Listen, this marriage is not perfect. It's a work in progress. It requires me to go to counseling every single week because if I don't, Shane was single for 19 years for a reason. Okay. Tell you that. And I have got to constantly be working on myself in order to figure what's going on with him. Um, being the best version of yourself is trying to find your own faults and correcting them. Like, why are you the way you are? Why do you worry about these particular things? Why do these things set you off in anger? Why do you blow your gasket on these certain things? That uncovering those reasons helps you become the best version of yourself. Me getting stuck on he does not know how to do my animals. I can't tell him to do anything, blah blah blah. I could have gotten stuck on that, but when I see her and go, "Okay, but what do you do, Judy?" So now go put yourself in his shoes, and when he tells you what to do, what do you do? Are you all sweet and googie and do you handle it well? Or do you act just like him? And I realized I act just like Shane. So when I see myself acting just like Shane, I can have more clarity to go, okay, Judy, you can't flip your lid because you're just like him. So usually at that point, I can go, let me tell you what I just learned. He's like, what? That you're a butthole and so am I. We're both buttholes. That's why we the way we are. It's because you're a butthole and I'm a butthole. I don't handle you telling me to do things. You don't handle, and then we'll sit there and laugh at each other. We'll laugh at each other. All right, guys. It's Monday. It's hump day. You have choices. You can sit it out. Sitting it out is not looking at the big picture. It's blaming everything on everyone else. They did this, she did this. If he only did this, that is sitting it out. Dancing is uncovering and going, but what do you do? That is dancing. That is figuring out why things are happening, and it helps you smile and not be mad at your husband all day long. All right, guys, I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.